All right, let's go ahead and talk about All Out, shall we? I found a pirated stream. That's my go-to for everything. To watch a couple of the matches that I was interested in, and we're going to talk about the nasty one. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, this is my not really a review of All Out, and no, it's not really a review because I didn't watch all the matches. I watched the ones I was interested in. I went straight to my girl Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, and baby, that was a 4.5 star match. Actually, I think it was 5 star if you want to. I think they executed things well. I did see Chris Statlander missed knocking the fuck out of Willow Nightingale when she did that table spot and her legs hit Willow in the back of the head. Everybody was fine. They got right back up and went back into it. Statlander got hit over the head with a light bulb, with the light bulbs. That cut her open. Then they had a chain spot. Willow bit Chris Statlander in the mouth with her mouth. Like they all about eating the blood over there. Then we had Statlander do a split onto Tax. Now that had me say, ooh, I did say that. I did say because she dropped her whole pussy on them Tax. And Willow and Chris Statlander ain't no lightweight. That's what you call Amazon, right? They did a Spanish fly spot. Like, them two girls went out there and put it on the line. And I honestly don't think the crowd gave them enough. They gave more to that bullshit at the end than they gave these ladies. And I don't appreciate that. So I'm going to give it to Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Where actually, if I had to choose from what I watched, that was the match that told the story. It wasn't gratuitous. It didn't need all that extra shit. But the story was told that these ladies were fighting. Willow did lose. And I don't know if they're friends or not. Also, then you had old boy running around too, because there was one point where Willow had the light bulbs and she ran over to him. Stokely, she ran over to him and he ran off. I thought that was hilarious. Stokely plays his part well. I love the match. I think that match was good. It was just enough hardcore, just enough ooh. It made me say ooh. When I'm talking to the screen, you know you got me. Excellent match. I enjoyed that. The next thing that was a hot topic I went and watched, kind of sped through a little bit, was who was it? Daniel Bryanson versus, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. So I went ahead and sped through that shit and got to the part where the Blackpool Combat Club got into the ring and Claudio elbowed the fuck out of Daniel Bryan, who didn't sell it. Like, he was looking up at him like, why you do that? And then all of a sudden Moxley was in there smothering the shit out of him with the plastic bag, and Moxley looked stupid as fuck. Like, I'm like, so this is how people look when they're like murdering someone. Like, if you ever played the game Manhunt, let me tell y'all something about Manhunt real quick. Manhunt came out on PlayStation 2. I got that game. When I tell you I played the fuck out that game, I love me some Bloodlust too. I love a horror movie that's rated R or worse. That Manhunt, you get to pick how you want to kill, and you go by the gauge, because the guy that's filming you in that sequence, in that simulation he put you in, the worse the murder, the more you get rewarded. Well, there's a part where you can use a plastic bag and you can hear them say, and then you pop their head. Ooh, let me tell you something. That was the early days of Rockstar, and the voice work for Manhunt is chef's fucking kiss. I actually have Manhunt for PlayStation 4. The only problem is the joystick, I guess, because when they transferred over PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 4, the camera work and the joystick's kind of wonky, but I still play that shit. I pop a motherfucking head open with a bat. You hear me? Anyway, that's what it reminded me of. Moxley acts like one of them crazy dudes in that video game. One of the insane asylum guys who be just talking. Manhunt, I love that game. Manhunt. I should probably just do a podcast and dedicate it to Manhunt. Child, I used to have some good times playing that game. Anyway, you had old girl Marina Shafir, like roving around the ring, and it was a lot of chaos, and the audience said, "This is murder, this is murder." Well, apparently murder was the case all night. They shouldn't have called it All Out. They should have called it attempted murder, because motherfuckers was trying to kill each other apparently through this entire pay-per-view. So then we went ahead and watched that, and then Wheeler Yuta, he was reaching out for Daniel Bryan, who's getting murdered, or Bryan Danielson, whatever, who's getting murdered, and he's reaching out. I don't think he fought hard enough, because Pac ain't no big dude. Yes, he's muscle bound and shit, but like, give me a break. If you want to save your friend, you not scared of the bitch in the ring, right? A mess, child. He was crying. It was a lot. They told their story. I ain't really watched the match. I ain't gonna lie. I just went straight to the good stuff. Now, for that little sequence, I laughed more than anything else, because Jon Moxley just looks stupid. He just got that dumb look on his face. So I ain't even gonna hold you. The next thing I did, go ahead straight to the hot topic on the internet, which is Hangman Page versus what's his name, Swerve Strickland. They was trying to kill each other. At one point, Swerve pulled out a stake. I thought he was going to stab him with it, but he ended up stabbing him in the head with it. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. They used a cinder block. He did like that move where you put them on the back, and they got their arms out, and then you kind of throw them through Hangman Page into the chair that was in the corner. Like, they was really going all out. So I could clearly understand why the pay-per-view is called All Out. So we get to the spot where everything's all said and done. Swerve is just like taunting Hangman Page. Hangman gets to Swerve's ear. He's like, "I'm gonna kill your motherfucking ass. I'm gonna make you bleed, motherfucker. I'm gonna do," like, he telling him what he about to do. At one point, Swerve like fell for it, and he kind of loosened up his goals for him so he could take it out. So he took the goals out. Everybody's like, "Oh wow, what's going on here?" So Hangman Page go walk over to some shit in the corner. I don't know if it was like a bag or whatever, and he pulls out a hypodermic needle. And it's like, okay, I'm wondering if it was a prop needle, because when he took the grill out, he opened up Swerve's mouth, and he recklessly took the needle and jug it all the way into his cheek. Like, it didn't come out the other side. If it was a real needle, first of all, if it was a hypodermic needle and he jug it like that, it could have broke. And number two, it would have come through the cheek. It didn't come through the cheek. I almost feel like that was a prop needle. I could be wrong, because you know how you get them prop knives and you stab it and the knife goes in, like, you know, like a fake knife, like the blade goes into the handle. I feel like that was a prop needle. Needless to say, the shit was nasty as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. It was nasty. Then he was like squeezing it. You gotta be careful for some things, because if you use an empty syringe and you put it in any part of your body and inject it, you can inject a air bubble into your bloodstream, even if you're not aiming for that. So, you know, the dork in me was like, I don't know if he pushing it and then he didn't pull no blood out. Like, I don't know if that was the plan. The shit was funky. It was really gnarly, funky, all the words you could think of. And then Swerve is sitting there holding it with it in his mouth. So I don't know, because it didn't go through the sheet. So he just put that shit all up in. I just want to know what the conversation was when they was like, "I'm about to get the syringe. You want to do the syringe spot? Hell yeah. I love me some syringes. We gonna blow this shit out the water." Like, what conversation is taking place for that? Okay. Swerve did not put up a fight. This is where the suspending reality kind of, you know, it's like, come on. You ain't that fucking injured to where you gonna let this man, he's not gripping you. You ain't tied to nothing. You just sitting there letting him jug you in the mouth with a needle. Okay, I guess, girl. Whatever. So he did that. The needle fell out of Swerve's mouth. all of a sudden the chair, which I do think was a prop chair, because at the bottom of the chair it was like some type of marker or some type of red thing that was at the bottom of the chair, probably letting them know which chair to use. Well, if it was a real chair, it wouldn't have popped up like that. It wouldn't have popped off like that. But because it was a very violent chair spot, it was unsettling for people. He popped the fuck out of Swerve. His head went through the entire chair. He passed out, and that is how that match ended. So what do I think? Look, the AEW's for the sickos. This is some sicko shit, okay? I think Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, if I had to compare the two, was actually better than Swerve and Hangman Page. And that could be debated, but I actually think they told a better story. It with just the amount of right of violence, just the amount of right of blood, and it didn't have to go all the way it went. I understand the story is Hangman's just so incensed that he just I got to destroy this motherfucker. I get that. But still, at the end of the day, a little bit over the top for me was, this was after the match. I mean, this ended the match, but they had already whooped each other's ass pretty good in that cage. If you're introducing somebody to wrestling, this probably ain't the thing you want to introduce them to. And this is the problem with AEW. If you let them watch AEW's TV show, they're not going to stick around and see how far that's going to go. But if you let them watch a pay-per-view, they're going to be sitting there like, what the fuck what's happening here? And there's no way for them to put two and two together. When WWE, their storylines are so fucking elementary that you can pick up on what's going on quickly because they give you a whole fucking recap. But whatever. I don't think it was that bad. The violence and all of that, I guess it was needed. But the needle spot, the blood. Again, AEW is not family friendly. I would not have let my kid watch that. I would not have. Even, a little bit of blood's fine, but all that extra shit going on. Imagine. They used to say, don't try this shit at home. And I tell you, my brother was a big wrestling fan, and he used to do all those fucking moves on me because I was way younger than him. My brother's in his 50s, so I was way younger than him. And he used to have me, like, fucked up pretty bad a couple times. Imagine he was like, oh, we definitely doing a syringe spot, but with a butter knife. Like, I'd have been all the way through, okay? Oh, my God. But all in, overall, all out, overall, I think it was for the audience. That was for their audience, their base. They really played into it. I have no issue with that. I did not watch it. That's not something I would have sought out because I already know how AEW gets down. So, Coachman was on the internet. He was very upset. Well, I wouldn't say he was upset, but he was, if anything, very disgusted by the needle spot. And he went on to say, the needle bit was some of the worst things I've seen in a long time. Anyone defending it is simply blindly loyal, which shows me that this is everything I get on here is you're a WWE mark. All you do is triple kiss H ass. Well, you clearly never watched Behind the Buckle because we are far from WWE's mouthpiece. We talk about pro wrestling, and today it's about how badly AEW is trying to make headlines, and these are the wrong ones. My goodness, it was one awful decision after another. Last one for me. On to the NFL today and something positive. And I mean, I don't want, and I'm going to wrap it up here, I don't want wrestlers injuring themselves just to get headlines. It should never come to that. And these guys got to really pay attention to what they're doing. Tony Khan does not protect wrestlers from themselves. Sometimes you have to say, no, that's a little bit too much. But when that happened, we got Jungle Jack Perry and CM Punk. When he said that's a little bit too much, it became a whole, well, I'm going to use real glass, so I don't know. But that's my thoughts on All Out, All In. It is what it is. I don't agree with none of that needle shit. That's for the sickos. That's too much for me. It was very, very difficult to watch. A lot of them spots was difficult to watch. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all tell me what y'all think if you watched it, and do you agree with anything or disagree? Y'all know what to do.